Hello, everybody. Going live right now. All right. So I hope you guys are doing great. So there's so many things that I would like to discuss today. First of all, I sent out an email for those of you who are on our email list. I asked question, especially for Filipinos who are in the Philippines, if there will be a live event. I'm planning to have a live event in the Philippines somewhere in March 2023. I haven't been home for 11 years, so this will be great for me to go home, spend time with my family there and bring my family for the first time there. But at the same time, I really want to get connected to the Filipino physical therapists who are wanting to apply here to the US. So pray. I'm asking you to pray for wisdom, whether I'm going to pursue to do that or not. I'm working behind the scene to ask for sponsors here in the US. From employers or companies who want to sponsor that live event in the Philippines so that we can do it there in the Philippines this March. So I'm very, very excited about that. Okay. So I might be sending out, or I'm going to attach a survey on the description section below. And also, kindly answer the survey, and also send out an email to people on our email list if you're going to attend the live event in the Philippines in March. Okay. So I really need your active participation. I need your voice. I need to hear whether you want to attend the live event or not. Okay. So I'm going to answer a question also about there was an email. So I always receive this kind of question, and recently I received an email from a foreign physical therapist from Pakistan, and he's asking if I can refer him to an employer, which I can do that. You know, I have ties with employers here in the U.S., but he's looking for a sponsor. And when I asked him if he already started the process to apply here to the US, he said he has not yet, but he's looking for a sponsor, an employer to sponsor him. Okay. So he's not the only one asking that question. There are so many foreign educated physical therapists thinking that there will be an employer that can support them financially, okay, from start till end of the process. Okay. So I think there are some agencies and some employer who do that process. Okay, I'm going to give you the advantages and disadvantages of that. Okay, of course, if you can find that employer or agency who will pay for your application from start, like credentialing for your TOEFL, for application for the state, for NPTE. That will be good because it doesn't, it means that you don't need to shell out money out of your pocket because everything is so expensive. Every step you have to pay. Okay. So that's the good side about that. Okay. So, based on my experience and based on my students' experience and my colleagues' experiences as well, especially in the Philippines, if, for example, you are with an agency, okay, and they will pay for your DPT, they will pay for your MPTE and whatnot, the process usually takes a long, long time. If they are the one processing your credentialing, okay, you just submit all the requirements to them, and you don't know what's happening behind the scene. I have received reports, and it happened to me too, that there are a lot of delays, and unfortunately, the delays are not being communicated. Why is there a delay? Okay, one thing that causes delay is that it's a pooling. It's like they're not going to process the application if it's only you. Okay, they wait for other applicants to do the same, so they will process everybody all at the same time. So that causes delay. Okay. So there are so many reasons behind the delay, but one thing that I can think of is that pulling of applicants first before the actual processing. And then I have met, with my master classes, I have met students who have been in the agency for 2, 3, 5, 12 years. So nothing is happening. Their application is not moving, but they cannot get out from the agency because the agency paid for their DPT or paid for their credentialing, paid for application for the state or the TOEFL. So they are tied up to the agency financially. Okay, so when you here in the US, I met one company that is planning to do that, but they are not yet doing that in the Philippines right now. Um, but there's a plan to sponsor someone from start till end, okay? But for the most part, guys, the US employers are actually looking for someone who, number one, either about to take the NPTE, and the most priority are the ones who already passed the NPTE and have an active US license. Those are the priority. Okay. If you are just starting from the scratch, you will not be prioritized by the company, because just imagine if I am the employer, I would prefer someone that I can petition with a working or immigrant visa right away, so that person can work for me here in the US right away, okay? Or, as soon as the process of visa is done. Okay, I would not prefer someone who haven't started with credentialing yet or haven't applied to the state yet, to the state that they want to practice, or have not passed the TOEFL, no healthcare worker certificate, nothing, because that person will take a lot of time, and I don't know, I'm not in a waiting period. I'm an employer. I am in the business. Okay, and whether you like it or not, employers are in the business of making money, and just like everybody else who wants to get something, they want to get it fast. Okay, so the employer prefers someone who is at the end of the process. Okay, and for example, you're about to take the NPTE, you are more in a high priority than someone who hasn't started anything yet. Okay. And the highest priority is the one who already have a US license and is really ready. If you're going to think about it like a fruit, it's ready for the picking. Okay, ready to be petitioned with a working or immigrant visa. Okay, so my point is, if it doesn't work for your advantage to have someone or a company to pay everything for you. Okay, you might find some employers, some agency doing that, but that might take a long, long time process, delay before you can get here to the US. Okay, and then the other disadvantage of that is that, for example, this agency that in your country, for example, in the Philippines, this agency that paid for your DPT, that paid for your TOEFL, that paid for your MPTE. Okay, they say they're gonna petition you with a working or immigrant visa. Years and years and years and years, pass by, nothing is happening. Okay, you are tied to that agency financially. Okay, so it's hard to get out from that bind, okay, from the agency, because they spent money on you. Okay, so you are responsible for the money that they spent on you. Okay, so that's the bad part of relying on some company or agency to sponsor you throughout the process. Okay, so that's why I always say, and it can be done if you really want it, you will find ways to make it happen. So for example, me, I paid for my own credentialing, I paid for my own NPTE while I was still in the Philippines. I paid for all the process. And then when the right agency come or the right company come who petitioned me, part of my expenses were reimbursed by that agency. Okay, not all, but part. Okay, so but the processing for me was faster when I met the right agency to petition me because I was already licensed. Okay, they were not waiting on me to finish up with my processing. Okay, so I hope, guys, it's clear for you. If you're looking for employer or agency to sponsor you, that you will know that you will be in financial tie with that agency or company if they spend money on you. Okay, so you will owe them money, and it's hard to get out of that contract. But you don't. The advantage again is you don't need to spend money, but you have to know the disadvantage of what you're getting into. Okay, if someone spend money on you. Okay, and also it doesn't mean that they spend money on you that you don't have to pay for it. Okay, so they might deduct it on your salary when you get here. So you have to read your contract when you're signing your contract, stipulation on your contract that if they're gonna sponsor you for everything, how are they going to get that money back? Okay, so nothing is for free. So if they're gonna spend money on you, most likely you have to pay them back on it eventually. Okay, so the advantage of you working hard and really saving money to support yourself to get here to the US. You spend money on on your credentialing, healthcare worker certificate, applying to the state for the TOEFL, for the NPTE, and everything. um, Whenever you get your license, you can choose the employer who you want to work with. Okay, and you will be prioritized by the employer. Your process to be petitioned with a working or immigrant visa is a lot faster because you're already done with all the processes involved in getting a license. So you will be prioritized by the employer. Okay, so I hope, guys, that is clear. Okay, so that is my answer for the question on sponsorship. Okay, United States employer sponsorship. Okay, so of course the different kind of sponsorship is the working or immigrant visa sponsorship. So you cannot work here in the U.S. without a working or immigrant visa unless you're a U.S. citizen or you already have a family-based immigrant visa. So, but if you do not have any form of visa here, you cannot work here under tourist visa. Okay, so you have to have a working immigrant visa, and you have to be petitioned by an employer or an agency here in the US in order for you to come here and work. So they're really gonna sponsor you with visa application. Okay, so but not all employers and majority will not sponsor you financially to get the process your license. Okay, most of the time is that you have to remember that you have to invest in yourself and process your own application. So you will be prioritized by the employer. Okay. So if you need help with that, how to fast forward your US application, again, you can talk to me, email me at justuprightllc@gmail.com. I give complimentary call so I can understand where you are in the process and how we can move forward faster way so that you will be able to get here and work as a physical therapist and live your American dream. Okay. So for those of you who are ready to plunge in to how can I do that, check out the USPT Turbo Charge. That is a masterclass online that you can access anywhere you are in the world, anytime. And that is like in a matter of 3.5 hours, you will have a clear understanding on how it is to apply here to the US. So you won't be confused anymore, you won't be lost. It can save you thousands of dollars from committing a mistake that you will end up frustrated and you will end up delayed and you might give up on your dreams because you don't know what you're doing. Okay, so applying to the US, it is not it is very complicated. It is not a simple task, but if you know what to do, it makes life a lot easier for you. Okay, if you apply to the US without knowing what you are doing and you are just listening to hearsay from people who did not really um, go through the process, you will just end up more confused. You will have more doubts. You will end up spending your money, making mistakes, having delays, having more frustration. Okay. So I will put the link down in the description section. I hope, guys, that answer your question. I will do live again to answer other questions. Just keep the question coming. Make a comment down below if you have other question with your US application. Okay. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Until the next video, stay blessed.